Hello, this is Mary from Bloom with Mary, and I want to hop on and make this short video because I would like to spread the word to women of all ages, particularly women who don't consider they're anywhere near the menopause, to help them be better informed about when the menopause might start and what symptoms they might see from going through the menopause. So first of all, a bit about the timings of the menopause. The average age for the menopause is 51, but this means it's the average age for a year after your last period. So the average age for last periods is 50. The normal age range for going through the menopause, medically normal this is between 45 and 55. So earlier you might get something called premature menopause, but 45 to 55 is perfectly normal. And a lot of the symptoms that we associate with the menopause, the unwanted symptoms, which I'll talk about in a minute, are what we really call the perimenopause, which is the 5 to 10 years before you go through the menopause, before your periods stop. And if you think if you medically normal might go through the menopause at 45, that means you could be starting perimenopause at 35. And this is something that I think is very poorly understood. And if that kind of resonates with you, being, gosh, I didn't think about that, I would love you to share this with your friends, to bring it to their awareness so they understand that something that might be happening to them in their 30s or early 40s may be menopause, and so often it's misdiagnosed. The doctors don't see it, people don't see it, women don't see it, and they don't even raise concerns about it, whereas actually you can do something about this. So find out if it is something to do with perimenopause, and then you can do something about it. So that's a bit about timings, mid-30s onwards, really, really important message there. And what are you looking for? So the menopause, I sort of define the symptoms, or list the symptoms into two groups. You've got physical symptoms and then you've got emotional, mental symptoms. Physical includes most people know hot flushes. When you get them, you know all about them. It's like your body is completely taken over. And also you can't, for me, it just took my breath away and I couldn't do anything for a minute or two until it passed. And night sweats, when you typically would wake up in the middle of the night feeling like you'd run a marathon in a jungle, as someone told me recently. So they're two very common ones. You get associated with sex, sexual desire, libido can go down, vaginal dryness, a whole load of stuff going on there, which can be kind of distressing and off-putting and not so good for relationships and self-esteem and so forth. You get fatigue, tiredness, energy fluctuations affecting sleep. Again, those are really big areas that maybe you don't necessarily think would be to do with the menopause. Hair thinning, hair loss, skin issues, joint pains, weight gain, really big one. If you suddenly start struggling with your weight, you're putting it on, you're not really doing anything different. Actually, it might be your hormones, it might not be you doing anything, changing your diet or whatever. So something worth considering. On the emotional side, got a number of symptoms, again, which you may realise are menopause, but often I think are not identified as being in the menopause, and therefore the cause isn't understood and addressed, and the symptoms continue. So you get problems with concentration, with memory, with brain fog. Look at me, I think I'm having one of the moments. Just remember, the whole confidence in yourself, irritability, anxiety. Anxiety is a really big one. I run a Safe and Supportive Facebook group to help women learn about lifestyle and natural ways to go through the menopause and reduce symptoms and so forth. And anxiety is one of the top reported symptoms that women tell me about in that group. Low moods, depression, changes in relationships. I think a lot of our feelings change, whether we're struggling with maybe libido issues or just irritability and we're taking that out on our partners, Well, I actually believe that part of what the menopause does is it kind of makes us stop and think, what am I doing in my life? What am I going to be doing for the rest of my life? And if you kind of look at your partner next to you and go, I'm not sure this is actually something not right for me, I think often it makes us sit and question that. So if you suddenly think I'm questioning things I never questioned before, maybe that's something to do with it. Some women really experience a sense of kind of loss, a feeling of reducing self-worth and so forth, as they suddenly kind of this is thinking, I'm getting into the later stages of my life. What have I done with my life? All that kind of questioning. What do I want to do? Have I made my mark on the world? All sorts of things like that. So it's just touching on really some of the mainly most common reported symptoms. And what I hope you can see from that is there's a whole variety, and maybe there's some that actually you wouldn't have known would be commonly associated with the menopause. So my message out there, please share this with women in your network so that they are all aware of the kinds of timings, what they might need to be looking out for. And the message is you can do something about this. This is not all doom and gloom. I mean, obviously, there's the doctor. I'd totally say, go to your doctor if you have any health concerns. And it might not be the menopause either. So I don't want you to think, oh, that's it, that's going to solve all my problem, and not spot something else that might be going on. But if you think, oh, that might be me, or I would like to be prepared for this, and what you do even before you go through perimenopause can really help your menopausal journey, do feel free to hook up with me. Look at my website, bloomwithmary.co.uk. I've got some useful things to download there and some information videos. And also, you're very welcome to join my Facebook group, Blooming Menopause, and do answer the questions, because I do need to see that a bit about you before you join. But you're all very, very welcome to join, even if you're just planning in advance. As I say, I'd be delighted for you to share this, and do let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.